Nashville had a chance to attract a Las Vegas caliber show to our community. There was a lot of hype on the front end, and that hype was definitely justified. Cavalia, Odysseo was coming to town for a 2-month run, and they needed a site permit. It had to be pulled together in a very short period of time. We need to get permits from both metropolitan government, the city, and from the state of Tennessee in order to have the show start on time. The bulk of what we had to do was to figure out permitting requirements and site plan details that dealt with parking, site management, access, stormwater, utilities, everything required to bring this facility up and have it operational for a show. Ryman Hospitality was the property owner and have future plans for the site. So it's very important to them that once we got through with the show, that they had a site that was still in as good a shape as it was before we first arrived. We had a lot of preliminary discussion, but once we all sort of understood the ground rules, then we only had about 4 days to develop a plan and get a permit approved. And then probably the most challenging thing of all in trying to create this site plan is realizing that we had a 125-foot tall tent to place on the site that had a footprint of 72,000 square feet that all had to be on the same level in order to accommodate over 2,000 guests for each and every performance.
Along with the main 125-foot tall tent, we had to have a stable for 65 horses. We had to have a dining tent for the performers, had to have a VIP tent, and we also had to have approximately 650 parking spaces out front. And with all of that needing to be virtually on the same elevation, what was different about this site is that it wasn't set up in a parking lot somewhere where it was nice and flat and they could just stake the tents into the ground. This was somewhere that needed a significant amount of site work done. The grading plans were shared with Cavalia basically on a daily basis to make sure that it worked with for what they needed, and it was also something that we could get permitted. We signed off on it and had permits within 2 days, what would typically take 2 months.
So had we not been able to open on opening night as scheduled, we would have had 65 horses looking for something to do. We'd have 200 employees looking for something to do, and the cost impact of that to Cavalia would have been tremendous. To see what happened and the benefit to the community, the enjoyment that people had when they attended the show, and just the satisfaction our team had by being able to pull off something that nobody thought was possible was really, really gratifying.